So, hi guys, this is Dr. Edwards again. I'm going to give you here some suggestions for the study guide for examination number 3. Okay? So I'm not going to write it out. I'm just going to enunciate what I think is my answer for each of these questions. You may have yours different than mine, which is fine, but this is what I think. Study guide for examination number 3. Number 1, explain in your own words what calls the seasons of the year. Often students give the wrong answer to this question. They give it as if the distance of the earth from the sun calls the seasons of the year. And nothing could be more wrong. It is not the distance. I won't even put in the word not necessarily. It is not the distance. It is the tilt, T-I-L-T, of the north-south pole relative to direct sun rays. It is the tilt of the north-south pole axis relative to direct sun rays that calls the seasons of the year. Relatively north and south southern hemisphere, when the North Pole is leaning more towards the sun, it is then summer time in the northern hemisphere. And when that same North Pole is leaning because the tilt away from the sun, then the southern hemisphere is leaning towards the sun. Therefore, it is summer in the southern hemisphere. And the other 3 seasons come into play in a relative manner from that. So once again, it is the relative tilt of the north-south pole axis relative to the direct sun rays that cause the seasons of the year. If there were no tilt, there would be no seasons of the year. Number 2, explain the 2 known ways that clouds disappear. First, the sudden cooling of clouds occur due to rising air within the clouds. As the cloud rise, they cool, and then there's a sudden cooling that will be and the droplets gets larger each time that they circulate from the bottom of the cloud up towards the top part of the cloud. Eventually, the droplets get large enough that they fall out as rain. So what initiate the fall of rain from cloud? It is the sudden rise of rain droplets, and as they rise, they get cooler, and each time they cycle this process, the droplets gets larger, and they eventually fall out as rain. The same is true for snow. The snowflakes will circle in a cycled manner from the bottom of a given cloud, snow-type cloud, to the top, and as it does, the flakes get larger and heavier. Gravity will eventually pull them down as snow. Number 3, suppose you are climbing in an airplane that has no altimeter. How could you tell when you are approaching the top of the troposphere? At the top of the troposphere, there's what's called the tropopause. And during the tropopause, there's no change in temperature. While in the troposphere itself, the temperature decreased from surface level to the top of the troposphere. Therefore, if you have no altimeter, but you have a thermometer, soon as the thermometer begins to register constant temperature, you know that you're at the top of the troposphere. So, having a thermometer to indicate when you are just approaching the tropopause is a way that you could tell that you are at the top of the troposphere. Number 4, what do high altitude clouds consist of? Low altitude clouds. High altitude clouds consist of ice in air, sheets of ice in air. And low altitude clouds consist of microscopic rain droplets in air. So high altitude clouds consist of ice in air, and low altitude clouds consist of water in air. Number 5, what is the greenhouse effect, and how is it related to the absorption of solar energy by the Earth's atmosphere? The greenhouse effect is the phenomenon where incoming solar radiation gets trapped in any region. For instance, your car on a hot summer day, sunlight comes in, the windows are rolled up, the sunlight cannot escape, it gets converted into heat. The same is true for the Earth atmosphere. So the sunlight comes in through the Earth, and if we have a large coat of molecules in the atmosphere, particularly in the stratosphere, where the sunlight cannot get back out, then this will cause a greenhouse effect in the Earth atmosphere. So the greenhouse effect then is the entrapment of solar radiation. Number 6, explain what would happen if ozone were to disappear from the upper atmosphere. If ozone were to disappear from the upper atmosphere, we will suffer greatly from skin cancer due to ultraviolet radiation reaching the surface of the Earth where we are. Due to the ozone layer in the upper atmosphere, the ozone layer absorbs molecules of ozone, absorb incoming ultraviolet radiation, and that prevents it from getting to ground level where we live. Number 7, when the word nimbus or nimbo is part of a cloud name, the name is an indication of what type of cloud. The word nimbus or nimbus indicates rain, steady rain. So when you have this word in a cloud, the cloud indicates rain. Now some of these multiple choice questions. Number 1, the region of the atmosphere closest to the Earth's surface is letter C, the troposphere. Sometimes I ask the question, what is the second closest region to the Earth's surface? And that is the stratosphere. But as is asked here, the closest is the troposphere. Number 2, arrange the following gases in the order of their abundance in the Earth's atmosphere. The most abundant gas in the Earth's atmosphere is nitrogen, B. Second is oxygen, C. Third is argon, D. And the last is carbon dioxide, A. Disregard E in this. There's a printing error. Number 3, compared with inorganic compounds in general, most organic compounds are C, more easily decomposed by heat. The conversion of sugar to ethanol and carbon dioxide with enzymes acting as catalysts is called fermentation. So fermentation is this process that we can convert sugar to ethanol and carbon dioxide. Organic acids are, for the most part, rather weak acids. A is the best answer there. 6, the most abundant organic compound on Earth. Some may think it's glucose, but it's not. It is cellulose. And that's because trees and plants are made mostly of cellulose. Okay, so that's the most abundant organic compound on Earth. 7, fermentation converts sugar to carbon dioxide and ethanol. 8, it is healthier to eat unsaturated rather than saturated fats because unsaturated fats keeps the cholesterol content of the blood low. So B is the best answer. Number 9, fats and oils are all types of lipids. Okay? And number 10, photosynthesis produce carbohydrates. Okay? And number 11, weather phenomenon. Activities such as clouds and storms are found in which part of the atmosphere? Is it the ionosphere, the stratosphere, the troposphere, or the thermosphere? It is the troposphere, young people. All aspects of weather, everything that occurs in the atmosphere, storms, tornadoes, hurricane, all that happens in the troposphere. 12, complete dry air has a relative humidity of 0%. The seasons occur as a result of which phenomenon I said earlier? It is the tilt of the Earth axis relative to direct sun rays, so it's C. Living things differ most form from one another in their constituents proteins. It's proteins that cause living items or forms to differ most from one another. When air mass moves upward, it cools because it expands. So 15 is D. 16, then lastly here, fill in the following chart. Of the 10 types of clouds discussed in class, place an X in the table below indicating the height where you expect to find these clouds. Very simple, young people. There are 10 clouds listed from cumulus to cirrostratus. Okay, first then, if I were you, I would realize that alto, there are only 2 alto cumulus, alto stratus, and they are always mid-level. So I will put a check here and a check there. Those are mid-level. And then high-level clouds will always have the cirrus or the cumulus or the cirrostratus. So this acronym, this prefix, cirro or Sirius, is in the high-level cloud. So I put the check there, and I would check here, and check, where's the other one? There. Then all the others are low level. There are 5 low-level clouds that you will have. That's it, young people. That's what I want you to have. So do well and get ready for this examination. I'll talk to you later. Have a good day.